Yo, hello everybody. Guess what? We did it. We made it. It's Friday. It's the end of the week. It's a beautiful Friday here in Park City too. Hopefully it's a beautiful Friday where you are as well. All you people out there in the East Coast, Northeast, Pennsylvania, Connecticut, New York, getting hammered with that snow, all I gotta tell you is one thing. I'm jealous. Send that snow out to us. It's dry as a bone out here. We're at 7,000 feet elevation. We need snow on those mountains up there. Ski season is right around the corner. Matter of fact, all the resorts are starting to open and it's been a ghost town of snow out here. We need snow, so send it out to us. Don't complain about it, don't whine about it, give it to us, we'll happily take it. It's kind of funny how whenever the East Coast is getting pounded with snow, we're getting pounded with sunshine and like dry temperatures and like dust everywhere, and my car is always filthy and it drives me crazy. But anyway, give us the snow, we'll happily take it. That's beside the point. This is what's more important. I'm going to ask you right now to, if you get very queasy or uncomfortable about certain subject matter, you might want to shut off your phone right now and walk out of the room. You may even want to unfriend me. I'm not sure. I hope not, because I hope I don't offend anybody. But we're going to talk about something that doesn't get talked about enough, in my opinion, and it's bowel movements. Yes, I said it. All right, it's Mother Nature, okay? We all have bowel movements, all right? So here's the funny story. I'm going to tell you the funny story first, then we're going to circle back and talk about why it's so important to make sure that your insides are working properly. Let's just go that direction. So when I was a little kid growing up, me and my brother would go down to our grandparents' house all the time for every single holiday. Thanksgiving, Christmas, New Year's, Easter, you name it. And we'd have this big traditional Italian feast. My grandfather and my grandmother were both 100% purebred Italian, which makes me 50%. And yes, I have all the tendencies of an Italian. I love pasta, I love bread, I love sweets, I like meatballs, and I love all that stuff. I eat all that stuff in regulation, but I do love it, bottom line. Anyway, we finished our meal. Me and my brother, my cousins would split. We'd go outside in the back and play, or we'd play in the living room if it was winter, or we'd be watching football or something, or playing Atari. In 1982, when we got Atari for Christmas, that was one of my favorite gifts of all time. Anyway, yes, I am that old. My grandfather would walk into the room about 30 minutes later, like clockwork after our dinner, and he'd stare us all down, give us this evil look, and say, "Do you move your bowels?" And me and my brother and my cousins would just laugh hysterically. We thought it was hysterical. And sometimes we did, sometimes we didn't move our bowels. But anyway, we didn't even really know what the heck that meant. We always thought it had something to do with the jugular area until years later when we started learning history, or not learning history, learning chemistry and stuff in school and biophysics and all those things. Anyway, long story short, did you move your bowels? That's what my grandfather always said. We used to laugh about it. As I got older, and as I witnessed my father take his last breath in a hospital in 1992, dying from colon cancer, it really hit home with me, and I finally understood exactly why my grandfather was saying that at a young age, because he didn't want us to go down the same path that other people have gone down. So what I'm saying is it's very important to move your bowels on a daily basis, or somewhere close to that at least. And the way to do that is to increase the fiber intake in your diet. That in my opinion, is the most underserved component of food out there. People are always talking about high protein diet, high fat diet, ketogenic, paleo, Atkins, South Beach, all these other things. But a blind eye is always turned to fiber content. You need to make sure you get enough fiber in your diet, because fiber is going to keep the plumbing working properly in your stomach. The last thing you want to do is suffer from toxins and impurities laying in your stomach for weeks, days, and months at a time. And yes, people are constipated sometimes for days, weeks, and months at a time. That's a long time for all those toxins to be settling inside your stomach, blocking passageways, not allowing nutrients to be digested and move through properly. And that is a huge risk factor for cancer and other diseases and other problems. Chronic fatigue, lethargy, brain failure, not necessarily failure, but like brain fog and stuff like that. All of this can be related to your diet, and it can be related to constipation and not moving your bowels properly. So as uncomfortable as that topic is, take it into serious consideration. And I highly suggest you get a lot of fiber in your diet, a lot of prebiotic foods, and a lot of probiotic foods. Prebiotics would be like asparagus, bananas, wheat germ, wheat bran, onions, garlic, raw garlic, all those foods. Throw them in your salads. Eat raw asparagus as a snack, as an appetizer. It's delicious. I eat it all the time. Those are prebiotic foods, and when you eat them, they're going to help build up the good probiotics that are in your stomach and the good bacteria, and they're going to help you digest food better, and they're going to help all the pipes work properly. And that's going to reduce your risk for all these different diseases, especially colon cancer, and you don't want that. Trust me. I saw my father die from it. 4-year struggle. It's horrible. And that's a big reason why I took such a serious interest in my health and everybody else's health too, especially from the angle of food and diet and nutrition and all that kind of stuff. So take that sage advice to the bank. Now, let's talk about Roy Clark. And since we're talking about my dad, I'm going to throw another story out there. When me and my brother were growing up, I'm doing a second story on me and my brother growing up. We were young kids. Saturday night would come around, 6 o'clock would roll around, and we'd look over our shoulder looking for my father because we knew it was going to happen. We'd be sitting there parked in front of the TV watching an awesome show on channel 22 or 28, And then all of a sudden he'd come marching in the room, looking around like this at the time, and then find out that Hee Haw was on. So he'd go and change the channel, and Grandpa Jones just got done singing. And his words were this. He'd look at us and go, "You made me miss Grandpa Jones, you little piss pots." And it was absolutely hysterical. Me and my brother would just laugh for hours about it, and it became this ongoing hilarious story that we still tell to this day every time we see each other. Anyway, the reason I'm talking about Grandpa Jones and Hee Haw is because Roy Clark just passed away, and he was one of the most talented musicians on the face of the earth, and that's what brings me to the guitar that you see over my left shoulder here. This is my Fender Jaguar bass, which maybe none of you have ever seen me play, but I love punk music. I'm a punk musician, and I haven't jammed in a while, but I'm going to be very shortly. Anyway, Roy Clark just passed away. God bless his soul. Rest in peace, Roy Clark. He was one of the best musicians of all time at the age of 85. He gifted this world with a lot of beautiful beats and jams and all this fun stuff they used to do on Hee Haw. So, if you've never seen Hee Haw or never heard of it, I highly suggest you YouTube it. It was actually quite a good show back in the day, and although me and my brother were resistant to country music, it kind of hit the spot after a while. Anyway, that's my funny story right there. Now, I got to talk about Indian Clubs International. Me, Kelly Manzoni, Paul Teres, Volkovinsky, the Triad. We're launching very shortly, working on some cool things right now, and I'm going to give you a little Indian Club tip. For those of you that swing Indian Clubs, this is going to resonate with you. Those who don't, make sure to hit up me or Kelly or Paul and ask us some questions about what we're doing and about your own practice as well, because I feel Indian Clubs are one of those game-changing tools that more people need to know about, that not enough people know about, and not enough people have good quality instruction. So, when you're doing an Indian Club, outward or inward heart shape, or a parallel, focus on your elbow. So I'm going to put my arm out like this, and I'm going to pretend to have an Indian Club in it. When you're doing an outward heart shape, and you're coming across the front of your body, forget you have an Indian Club in your hand. Take your elbow and draw a circle with it, just like this. Big circle. And when you do that, your club is going to drop down over your shoulder, and then you're going to cast it up and out. I don't care if you've got one club in your hand, draw this circle. Two clubs in your hand. Two circles. Look, two. You can do two at once. Elbows come in, draw big circles. When it comes to Indian Clubs, it's all about the circles and the spirals and the figure eights. But I want you to focus just on the circle right now. So if you're doing a heart shape like this, circle. If you're coming inward, circle. It's a circle. See that? Always focus on the circles. And you know what? Always focus on the circles outside, because the earth is circular. Yes. Go enjoy the earth today. Enjoy your Friday. Enjoy your weekend. And I'm doing a 48-hour fast before Thanksgiving. I'll probably start it on Sunday. If any of y'all want to join me, please do so. And let me know when you want to do it. I don't suggest you go like Tuesday into Thursday and have like your first like Thanksgiving feast as your meal coming out of a 48-hour fast, unless you have like, you know, a sizable amount of toilet paper with you, because you are going to be running to the bathroom quite often. And again, I don't mean to be gross. I'm just being honest. I know from experience. Anyway, so keep all that in mind. Eat your fiber. Honor Roy Clark. Go listen to some songs by him today. Go look up some Hee Haw episodes. Make sure to get your fiber in your diet. Did I already mention that? I wanted to keep reminding you. And also, focus on the circles. It's all about circles. Life is a circular flow. There's a circular flow of energy around us. You may want to call it currency if you want. I don't care. I just like the circles. All right. Hammer my points home. I got to get rolling. It's time for me to eat breakfast, and I have a bowl of porridge that I made with this Cinnamon Harvest, I think it's called, organic cashew cereal. I mashed it all to a pulp, put in some berries, put in some vegan protein powder, because I'm going plant-based for the rest of today. Well, I did plant-based yesterday. I'm going to do half today plant-based. I'm only going to eat 2 meals. And then my fast is going to start on Sunday. So keep all that in mind. Hope I didn't boggle your mind too much with all the stuff I have to say. I have a tendency to rattle things off like a machine gun at times, and I have a tendency to be random and go off topic. But if you have any questions or comments about anything I said, hit me up. If you have any questions or comments about Indian Clubs International, hit up me or Kelly or Paul. And for all the rest of you out there, have a wonderful Friday. Enjoy your weekend, and I'll talk to you soon. Namaste.